What's going on, everyone? This is Alex, USA Days. So today we're going to talk about difference between QA tester, SQA engineer, QA analyst. Why this question came up? So one of the subscribers just messaged me asking, "Hey, I've been a QA tester for a long time. Not so long we came to the United States. How do I actually, from testing, get into software quality assurance? What do I need to do since I'm in the States and it's kind of a big move from just testing position to more advanced SQA position?" And I can say that this is more of a Europe thing, where they have more titles and divisions in quality assurance, and there's probably a different approach into getting into testing in general. In Europe, you can often find that a certification from International Software Testing Qualification Board is needed, is like ISTQB exam, where you prepare to be a tester. In the States, many times the roles are really interchangeable. So you can have QA engineer, you can have like technical staff title, you can have QA analyst, SQ engineer, QA tester, whatever. Those roles normally what the responsibilities are defined within the company. So there's no a lot of the like structure aside from that you will be doing actual testing for the company. We will read the definitions and difference. What is QA engineer versus tester versus QA analyst in a second from like Chat GPT, so you will understand the formality of it, how it should be in theory. But I'll just tell you how it is in the States. In the United States, a lot of the testing that people get in testing, they normally get like through boot camps, or getting a college degree in computer science and then moving from like development, I guess, into testing. But there's no really uh, an official pass into testing industry, and there's really not as much recognition of or requirement for testing certificate of ISTQB in the States, comparing to positions in Europe. Here, it's more about your resume and your interview process, how well you do on the interview. And if you're a good fit, they will hire you. It doesn't matter your certificate, as long as you really fit for the job. Okay, so let's get into the Chat GPT answer. Okay, so here's Chat GPT response on the difference between the roles. And even though I do agree in theory this is what it is, in reality, again, in the United States, a lot of those positions are really interchangeable. And what you will be doing as a QA engineer, as a tester, or as QA engineer, QA analyst will be defined at your job. Your responsibilities will come from what you need to do, right? The title can be different, really. All right. So, as ChatGPT says, the roles of QA tester, SQA engineer, and QA analyst can be confusing as they have some similarities, but also some important differences. A QA tester is primarily responsible for executing tests and identifying defects or issues within software. They typically focus on testing individual features or modules of a software application, reporting defects, and verifying fixes. The primary goal is to ensure that the software is functioning correctly and meeting user requirements. So essentially, what this says, QA tester is a person that tests products against the requirements. So they do a lot of like hands-on verification, making sure that features are working as they supposed to. Now, an SQA engineer is responsible for ensuring that the entire software development process follows best practices and is producing high quality software. They typically develop and implement process for managing requirements, designing and executing test plans, monitoring and analyze metrics, and ensuring that the software meets the standard set by the company. So here, SQA engineer role is described as more of a overseer of the quality, creating quality standards, creating quality documentation and plans, test cases, and so on, right? Test strategy, which can be done by test lead or SQL engineer. So more of a strategic role, still that incorporates verification of the product. And then there's a description for QA analyst. So a QA analyst is responsible for analyzing data and metrics related to the quality of the software. They may develop and implement strategies for improving the software quality, such as identifying recurrent issues and suggesting process improvement to prevent them from occurring in the future. So, for the analyst position, you're more into data analysts, right? Looking into the data. I guess when you have metrics and compare different releases against your competitors, you can get into some ideas on how to improve your metrics and so on. Um, while all three roles are focused on ensuring the quality of software, the primary difference lies in their scope of work. QA testers focus on testing individual features and modules. SQA engineers focus on the entire software development process, and QA analysts focus on analyzing that data and metrics related to the software quality. But again, in reality, all of those titles are really interchangeable because responsibilities that you will do will in the company will be defined by the requirements of the company, what this company really needs. A lot of time, you will find yourself in the United States with any out of those three titles in the United States, you'll find yourself doing all of those things. So you will be testing features, you will be verifying them, you will be creating test plans, you will be doing analytical work and looking at the results. So essentially, all of those three roles are normally combined. So the question that I was asked, how do I, from the person that comes from Europe and probably has the certification in Europe for a tester, how do I come from a QA tester in more advanced role of SQA analysis? So in reality, you don't. Because all you really need to do is just to change job, find another position local on the market here, or even remotely, but in the United States, and pick up some tools that will help you to grow in a certain direction in the position. So, for example, if you want to do more automation, grab a bootcamp for automation, like we have with Kerry. We used to have a Python automation bootcamp. I'll have a link in the description for that. So grab a bootcamp for automation. Together with automation, you probably want to start working on some basic algorithm for interview process because now they start asking QA automation engineers like some basic algorithms, so like FizzBuzz and stuff like that. So you want to start practicing that, and then grab one of the tools for verification of API. So like maybe Postman, how to work with Postman. Grab like a course on that. And on top of that, if you want to complete your kind of uh, movement in the process of like QA automation, get like Linux commands and some SQL under your belt. Just basic of data retrieval with SQL and some how to work in Linux, navigate stuff like that. So essentially, um, the skill that you will require to have as a SQA engineer, you will build at a new job with your QA testers. Previous experience where you mostly were looking at features and just verifying them when you were doing stuff in Europe. Any job you're gonna grab in the United States, almost any job you're gonna grab in the United States that says something about testing, you will be doing all those three things. You will be doing SQA, you will be doing QA analyst, you will be doing QA tester job. So you will be verifying, you will be normally creating test cases and test matrices. You will be creating test plans, even test strategies, looking at data and drawing graphs and analyzing data. It's just the norm. And again, there's not so much official process of to like getting into the higher level of testing aside from resume and experience and the tools you want to grab. And again, if you want to grow further on, just grab one of the automation frameworks, learn it well, and then everything else is going to fall in place. So once you have one automation tool learned, and uh, when you want to move to another, you can learn another. But there is really a lot of demand for a specific tool. So you can start searching job for Selenium with Python. You can find jobs that require that. You can learn, I don't know, Cypress and JavaScript, and you can find jobs that require automation engineers with that. Or you can go with Playwright and JavaScript, and you'll find jobs in that. You can do old good like Selenium Java, and you're still gonna find a lot of positions for that. So it's really about learning a tool and just joining with any company, knowing that tool. So there's really no process here in the States, at least from my personal experience, where you get from QA tester to SQA engineer. Any position that you grab here, that requires quality assurance on your part, you will be doing all of those things that I talked about and that ChatGPT listed as 3 different categories. Okay, so hopefully this helps. This was Alex USA Days. Thanks for watching.